How many times have you caught yourself overthinking? How many times have you told yourself, I need to plan this better, I need to be ready first, I need more time, only to watch days, weeks, and even years pass by without ever starting? You think about the dream, you think about the goal, you think about the possibilities, the opportunities, the future you want. But instead of moving toward it, you stand still. You stay in the same place, waiting for the right moment, waiting for certainty, waiting for everything to be perfect. But here's the truth. Thinking alone will not change your life. You can sit there and analyze every detail. You can map out every possibility. You can prepare endlessly. But until you take action, nothing happens. You won't get fit by thinking about going to the gym. You won't build a business by thinking about starting one. You won't become successful by thinking about success. Thinking gives you ideas, but action gives you results. So why do we get stuck in this cycle of overthinking? Because overthinking feels safe. It tricks you into believing that you're making progress. It makes you feel like you're doing something when, in reality, you're just delaying the hard part, the doing. The more you think, the more you hesitate. The more you hesitate, the more fear creeps in. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of making mistakes. And that fear, it paralyzes you. You start imagining every worst-case scenario. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I make a mistake? What if people judge me? What if I don't know what I'm doing? And so you wait. You tell yourself, I'll start when I feel ready. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. No one does. The perfect moment will never come. The stars will never align in exactly the way you want them to. And if you keep waiting, you will keep wasting time. Think about the dreams you have, the goals you want to achieve, the life you want to live. Now ask yourself, how long have you been waiting? How many days, months, even years have you spent thinking about what you want instead of going after it? How many opportunities have you let slip away because you convinced yourself you weren't ready yet? Now imagine this. Imagine if, instead of waiting, you had started 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. Where would you be now? How much progress would you have made? You see, the hardest part isn't the work itself. It's starting. It's taking that first step. It's breaking the cycle of doubt and hesitation. It's pushing past the fear of failure and stepping into action, even when you don't have all the answers. Because here's something you need to understand. No one has it all figured out in the beginning. No successful person started with all the answers. They didn't wait for perfection. They didn't wait until they felt completely ready. They just started. They took action. They made mistakes. They learned. They adjusted. They kept going. And that's why they succeeded. Success doesn't come from overthinking. It doesn't come from endless planning. It doesn't come from waiting for the right time. Success comes from taking action. It comes from trying, failing, learning, and growing. It comes from having the courage to step forward, even when you're uncertain, even when you're afraid, even when you don't know exactly how things will turn out. Every great achievement in history happened because someone decided to take action. Every business that changed the world was built because someone took the first step. Every dream that became reality started because someone stopped thinking and started doing. So what about you? Are you going to keep waiting? Keep overthinking? Keep coming up with reasons why you're not ready yet? Or are you going to decide right now today that enough is enough? That you won't waste another day stuck in your own mind? That you won't let fear control you? That you won't let another opportunity pass you by? You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to have all the answers. What you need is to start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start even if it's messy, even if it's uncertain, even if you're afraid. Because action creates momentum. The moment you take that first step, you realize that it wasn't as scary as you thought. The moment you start doing, the fear starts to fade. The moment you move forward, doors begin to open. And soon you'll look back and wonder why you waited so long in the first place. So stop thinking. Stop hesitating. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. The moment is now. Your time is now. You've spent enough time thinking, enough time waiting, enough time convincing yourself that you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is a lie. Tomorrow is an excuse. Tomorrow is just another way to stay in the comfort of inaction. Every second you wait, You are losing time you will never get back. Think about that for a moment. Every day you spend thinking instead of doing is a day wasted. A day that could have brought you closer to your dreams. A day that could have been used to learn, to grow, to take one step forward. But instead, you stayed in the same place. And the more you stay still, the harder it becomes to move. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who have perfect plans. They are not the ones who waited for the perfect time. They are the ones who took action when everything was imperfect. They were scared. They had doubts. They had no guarantee of success. But they started anyway. And because they started, they learned. Because they learned, they grew. Because they grew, they got better. And because they kept going, they achieved what once seemed impossible. So what's stopping you? Fear? Doubt? The idea that you might fail? Guess what? Failure is part of success. Every great person who has achieved anything worth remembering has failed. Not once, not twice, but countless times. But they didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them. They didn't let setbacks break them. They kept moving forward. Because action is the only thing that moves you closer to success. Not thinking, not planning, not waiting. Action. You already know what you need to do. You already have the dream, the vision, the goal. You don't need more time to think. You need to take the first step. The first step is the hardest. It will feel uncomfortable. It will feel uncertain. But once you take it, everything changes. Because once you start, you gain momentum. Once you gain momentum, you gain confidence. Once you gain confidence, you start believing in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. But you have to start. You have to take the leap. You have to decide that enough is enough, that you won't let another day slip away without taking action. So don't wait another second. Get up. Take the first step. Because the only thing standing between you and success is action, and the time to act is now. There is no more time to waste. No more excuses to hide behind. No more waiting for a sign, for the right mood, for the perfect conditions. Because the truth is, there is no perfect time. There is only now. Think about all the times you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. How many of those tomorrows have come and gone? How many days have slipped through your fingers, never to return? What if, instead of waiting, you had started the first time the thought crossed your mind? What if, instead of hesitating, you had taken the first step? Imagine how far you would be today. Imagine the progress you could have made, the lessons you could have learned, the victories you could have won. Now let this be the moment where everything changes. Not in a week, not next month, not when you feel ready. Now, because every second you delay, someone else is taking action. Someone else is chasing the same dream. Someone else is putting in the work while you sit and think. And the difference between you and them? They started. Not because they had everything figured out. Not because they had all the answers. Not because they were fearless. But because they knew that movement is the key. They knew that success isn't about knowing everything. It's about learning along the way. They knew that the only real failure is never trying. And they knew that regret is far worse than any mistake they could make. So what will you do? Will you let another day slip away, telling yourself the same tired excuses? Or will you break the cycle, take control, and finally step into the life you were meant to live? It doesn't matter where you are starting from. It doesn't matter if you feel unprepared. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. What matters is that you begin, that you stop thinking and start doing. Because action is what separates dreamers from achievers. And the only thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted is the step you refuse to take. How much longer will you wait? How many more days will you let slip through your fingers? How many more dreams will you watch fade into the distance because you were too afraid to take the first step? The clock is ticking. Right now, at this very moment, time is moving forward. Whether you take action or not, the world doesn't wait. Success doesn't wait. Your dreams don't wait. So why are you? You keep telling yourself you need to be ready, but readiness is an illusion. No one ever feels completely ready. The people who succeed aren't the ones who had it all figured out. They're the ones who started anyway. They started when they were scared. They started when they had doubts. They started when they weren't sure if they would make it. And because they started, they grew. They learned. They became stronger, wiser, better. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Action, not talent, not luck, not intelligence. Action. Because action creates results. Thinking does not. Planning does not. Wishing does not. You can dream about success all you want, but if you never take the first step, that dream will stay exactly that, a dream. So what are you waiting for? You already know what you need to do. You already know what you want. The only thing left is to go after it. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be challenging. Yes, you will make mistakes. But so what? Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. And the moment you take action, the fear begins to fade. Because action destroys fear. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop thinking. Start doing. Start now. Start today. Start before another day slips away. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your decision to begin. And once you begin, nothing will ever be the same again. This is it. The moment you decide. The moment you choose action over hesitation, courage over fear, progress over comfort. You've waited long enough. You've spent enough time thinking, overanalyzing, wondering what might happen if you fail. But let me ask you, what will happen if you never try? What happens if you keep pushing your dreams further and further into the future, waiting for the right time, the right feeling, the perfect opportunity? You already know the answer. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. Nothing moves forward. You stay stuck, trapped in the same cycle of what-ifs and regrets, watching time slip through your fingers like sand. But it doesn't have to be this way, because the power to change is in your hands, right now. You don't need more time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to begin. Because the second you do, everything starts to shift. Fear loses its power. Doubt begins to fade. Momentum starts to build. And before you know it, you're no longer standing still. You're running toward your goals, running toward the life you were meant to live, running past every excuse that once held you back. But none of this happens if you don't take that first step. So stop thinking about it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. The only time you have is now. Right now you have a choice: to keep waiting, or to rise up and take action, to stay where you are, or to move forward toward everything you've ever wanted, to let fear win, or to decide once and for all that you will no longer let hesitation control your life. So what will it be? Another day of waiting? Or will this be the day you change everything? The choice is yours. But remember this: you'll never regret taking action. You'll only regret the chances you didn't take. So stop thinking. Start doing. Your future is waiting.